Hey, it's Justin again. Do you know what your parents' mortgage was? Or your grandparents? I'm just asking because um, we've seen the ratio of income to home prices get so far apart. Um, what I mean by that is you now see income home price ratios of 10 to 1, and even more in the Bay Area. In San Francisco, you see even more than that. It's come down a bit there, but you're seeing these incredible ratios, and you think, well, what was it in the 60s and the 70s? Well, around 1970, I think the ratio got as low as it's ever going to get. It was around 2 to 1. It's hard to believe now that there was ever a time um, when a house was two times, the typical house was 2 times the typical income. Average house, average income was about 2 to 1. And you think, well, that's hard to believe now. Now you see 5 to 1 on the norm or more. In California, it's even worse. I mean, it's great if you're selling houses, but it's not so great if you're trying to buy one. So when I say worse, I'm thinking of buyers, not sellers. But it's just I'm just so intrigued, and I would challenge people to call their grandparents, call their parents, and ask them, what did you make, and what did you... Some people are uncomfortable to talk about what they made, but yeah, sometimes it's 50 years ago, maybe they don't care anymore. But what did you make, and what was the house? And you'd be shocked. And they'll maybe be shocked, they're like, yeah, that's right. That's, it seemed like a lot of money at the time, but we were making, I was just talking to this gentleman who was talking about, he worked on a construction crew, and he worked for a good company, and I think he was probably maybe paid more than the average construction worker. But he made, 1970, he made $10,000, and he said you could buy a home for $17,000. So he made $10,000 a year, and he said, yeah, there were houses around here for $17,000. And I'm talking California, not not the middle of nowhere. I'm talking, San Gabriel Valley in California, where now that ratio, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but it's above 5 to 1. And so he was talking, 2 to 1 or even less. I was just talking to another friend of mine client of mine actually, who was talking about, she said, oh yeah, I was in the early 80s, I was a journalist, and I had a little apartment, I got out of school, and I saved up my money and bought a house, and it was she lived modestly in an apartment for about 4 years. And she made enough to put a down payment on a house and bought a house, and then proceeded to pay off the house. Things like that. You just don't hear this. I'm certainly not a journalist. My God, do journalists get paid anything anymore? It's one of those professions that seems to be barely hanging on. But I would challenge you to ask your parents and grandparents, what was it like for them? And then look around and see what it's like for you, and do the math on a average house, and you might be shocked. Here are some new builds in Carter Ranch. I happen to be in Carter Ranch in Sierra Madre, California. This is at the upper part of the town, if you're not from here. And there are some lots right across which are available for building. So if you're interested in new builds in Sierra Madre, call me. I'd love to talk to you. All right, this is Justin, the Renegade Realtor from Coast West Real Estate, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.